Hello and welcome to Dear Franny. I'm your host, Francesca Hoagie. I'm a recovered lawyer turned love and life coach, and this podcast is the place where I talk all things love and true love, from dating and relationships to manifesting a life that you love. Thank you for being here. Hi there. All right, so let's dive into today's episode, and I want to talk a little bit about the power of dating with intention and the 4 reasons why you should if you want true love. And I should remind you, if you are new to the podcast or you haven't heard me in a while, give my definition of true love, which is a relationship that is based on the values of love, respect, intimacy, safety, commitment, adoration, and joy. So love, respect, safety, intimacy, commitment, adoration, and joy. And the intimacy is emotional and physical, as well as the safety, emotional and physical. So when you focus on true love as a relationship containing these values and these dynamics and these qualities, and you start there, then you start to approach dating and the people that you're meeting in a different way, because now it's like, okay, well, I know this is the relationship that I am co-creating, that I'm manifesting. It has these qualities as the foundation. So when you're meeting people, then you get to say, oh, wait, is this person actually capable of being the type of partner to be the co-creator of the relationship that I want to have? And this is the first point about dating with intention, which is that it focuses your energy and your efforts. And that is so huge, because if you are unfocused in dating, then it's so easy to get overwhelmed. It's so easy to get sidetracked. It's so easy to get demoralized. It's so easy to really waste time with people who are really not aligned with what you are seeking, with your values, and really aren't capable of being the kind of partner that you're seeking. But it can be so distracting and don't even realize it. You're like dating and you're like, well, I like this person and we're attracted to each other. And maybe you have this chemistry and you have a connection. And so you're like trying to make it work, but maybe it's not really connecting. And if you are not being intentional, then it's really easy to just let your momentum of the chemistry and the emotions just sort of carry you. And then before you know it, it's been months, maybe it's been years, or maybe it's just been weeks, but still it's something that you realize after the fact, wow, if I had really understood more what was going on or the choices I was making, I don't think I would have dated that person, right? And so this is not about regret, because every experience that you have is valuable. All of your past dating experiences, as long as you're able to really learn the lessons that they came in your life to teach you, whether it was a lesson about trusting your intuition or being better at holding boundaries or respecting other people's boundaries or communication, or realizing that the standard that you have for how people treat you maybe is not as high as you're now deciding that it needs to be, right? And that you deserve. So there's so many lessons that we have from all the things that happen in our lives, especially the things that don't work out so well. But when you have an intentional approach to dating, then you have this focus, so you're not so easily distracted. So that's the number 1 reason. And then the number 2 reason, and this really goes into the definition of dating with intention, which is to have this focused approach. But then the second part of it is to have the flexible approach, right? So when I mean flexible, I mean you're understanding that life is not something that you can control, right? Other people are not something you can control. We can barely control ourselves half the time, right? So having a flexible approach is recognizing, well, I thought that this is what I really wanted in a partner, but now that I've started to actually interact with more people and get to know people who maybe possess this quality or, whatever it is, this check on the list. And now I'm recognizing like, oh, maybe that's not so important to me. So rather than doubling down, you're actually recognizing like, oh, there's a shift that needs to be made here, right? So that's the flexibility. The flexibility, if you listen to last week's episode where I talked about, meeting people organically and do you have to date online in order to meet someone? I shared how I was flexible in my approach because I recognize like I want to have love, I want to have intimacy, but I'm not really sure how to do this, right? So I got to figure this out. I got to figure out how to date. I got to figure out how to flirt. I got to figure out how to start to connect with people in a deeper way. And that requires some flexibility. So if you are approaching dating with a lot of rigidity and you're trying to control and you're like, this is how I do things. It has to be this way. I really want to encourage you and understand that intention does not mean rigidity. Intention means focus and also this flexibility because you understand and you are responding to what's coming up for you. You're responding to the rhythm of your own pattern. You're responding to the ways that you've grown, the ways that your priorities have shifted. You're responding to how certain people show up and recognizing like, oh, I love when somebody shows up for me this way and I don't like this, right? You're starting to get all that information. So that flexibility is another really powerful reason that I want to encourage you to approach dating with a lot of intention. And then the third reason is that it is empowering, right? It's just empowering. It is so easy for dating to feel so disempowering and so out of your control and just like, you can just feel like you're just out there, just flapping around, just hoping that someone, by some chance, you're going to meet someone great. And that can feel really unsettling and cause so much anxiety and so much frustration. And when you empower yourself to say, okay, here is what I want. Here's what I actually want. And I'm a big fan of making 3-month love goals. So if you say, okay, 3 months from today, I want my love life to look like X, right? Do you want to be regularly dating? Do you want to be exclusively dating one person? Do you want to feel comfortable flirting? Do you want to feel confident knowing how to discern who is and who isn't a good match for you quickly? Do you want to be comfortable expressing boundaries? Whatever it is that goal is for you, because this is custom. One size fits all does not work for dating. So again, the flexibility is important, but you empower yourself when you start to set goals that are very tailored to you and that are actionable. Because if you set a goal, say, 3 months from now, I want to be regularly going on dates. Maybe you're not dating at all right now or very sporadically. And you say 3 months from now, I want to regularly be going on dates. I want to be enjoying myself. I want to feel confident about dating. Excellent. So now you can start to reverse engineer. All right, well, what do I need to do now? Right? So you empower yourself to start to get involved and not be a passive hoping and wishing that you get lucky, but you start to activate yourself and say, okay, this is something that I am going to manifest for my life. There are many people on this planet. There are tons of people who you could be very happy with. So it's not about finding one person. It's not just a needle in a haystack. Don't worry about looking for a needle in a haystack. Think about being that magnet for the type of people that you want. And you have to feel very empowered in order to actually be able to draw people to you and to approach dating in a way where it's not about quote unquote control, because control is mostly an illusion. But through empowerment, you know that you've got you and that you know the steps to take, even if you don't know right now, that you're going to figure it out as you go along. And doesn't that feel better? It feels so much better. And then the fourth and the final reason that dating with intention is so powerful is because you transcend your own limitations. You transcend your own circumstances. You start to enlist the power of the universe to assist you when you set an intention. If you set a sincere, powerful intention that you are ready to allow love into your life, to receive love, to co-create a relationship with someone else that is healthy, that is fulfilling, if you hold that intention, if you claim it, things will start to shift. I am not saying that tomorrow, all of a sudden, you're going to not ever have an insecurity. All these amazing people are going to be falling out of the sky. No, what I'm saying is that your energy starts to shift, even just by setting the intention. And if you are willing to give yourself, especially if you're feeling skeptical about this, set an intention to see evidence. Set an intention, a sincere intention to see the evidence that there is more possible for you romantically than maybe you've ever considered before, right? Because once you set that intention, it's like this little subconscious, you kind of like hypnotize yourself a little bit. So you start to show up in the world a little bit differently. I talked about this in last week's episode too, in the context of making this decision. I didn't call it intention setting back then, but I did set an intention by choosing this mantra. Every time I leave my house, I have the potential to meet someone special. And not saying that you have to adopt that exact same mantra, but think about what is it? What are the intentions that you can set that really activate you, that really get you in a different mindset, but then also really activates the universe to say, okay, this is what you want. I'm going to start presenting you with opportunities to actually get what you want. Because that's what happens. You start getting presented with opportunities to get what you want. But a lot of those opportunities might seem like, I mean, how is this an opportunity to get what I want? Because you got an invitation, right? And you don't usually get an invitation to an event like that. It seemed kind of interesting to you. Maybe you should go, right? Maybe the opportunity for you was that somebody smiled at you and you got really scared and you looked away and you said, oh, wait a second, that person just smiled at me and they were kind of cute, but I got scared and I looked away. Wait a second, maybe I need to work on actually smiling back, right? And not feeling so scared in those moments. And that is how the universe starts to show you all of the ways in which you have an opportunity to grow in your capacity to receive love. And then there's the serendipity that starts to happen, right? But this is all about really, really claiming and really surrendering the part that is out of your control, because your control is, okay, what are the skills that I have to have the love that I want, right? What's my ability to connect with the kinds of people that I want to? What's my ability to feel good and to feel comfortable with somebody when I'm attracted to them and actually show up as myself? Those are the things that are in your control as to when am I going to meet them? How am I going to meet them? Where am I going to meet them? You don't have any control over that. That's the part where the surrender comes in, right? That's the part where if you're setting this intention, if you are really sincere in it, and not saying it's set it and forget it, I mean, you're going to have to reaffirm these intentions. And by the way, I'm a big fan of you could set a daily love intention every morning. That can be something that you do for the day. What is my love intention for today? What do I want to experience when it comes to love today? And maybe it's self-love, maybe it's giving love to another person. Maybe it's, again, seeing some evidence that there are people in this world who you can connect with and get excited about. But it's so, so powerful. All right. So to recap quickly, having a focused approach to dating is what is the power that dating with intention really gives you. Having that flexible approach, right? You're not rigid. You're really going and adjusting with what's coming up. You're being in flow. You are, number 3, you're empowered. You're much more empowered when you start to approach dating in this intentional way. And who doesn't want to be empowered? That feels great. And then last, but certainly not least, you enlist the power of the universe, right? You enlist the power of serendipity. You enlist the power of all of these opportunities starting to show up for you when you claim this intention to bring love into your life. And when I say bring love into your life, you already are love, right? All of the love that you have ever experienced and will ever experience is inside of you right now. So it's not about going out and quote unquote finding love because you don't have it within you. You have it within you. It is you. But I should say the intention is really to open yourself up to give and to receive love with an aligned partner, right? And that is what I want for you. That is what I know is possible for you. And if you want to go deeper into this, I do have a course called How to Date with Intention. It's a 21-day course. It's delivered by text. You get short lessons delivered to your phone every day via text or WhatsApp. And so definitely check out the show notes if you are interested in that, or the bios, any of my bios on any social media. I'm at Dear Franny everywhere. And that's an evergreen course. It's not going away anytime soon. But there is a discount for my podcast community. So if you use the code Dear Franny, you'll get 20% off for a limited time. So definitely check that out if you are interested in going deeper on this topic of dating with intention, because it is a big topic. But I hope that even though this was a short and sweet episode, I hope that it was still helpful to you and it's got your wheels turning and you're feeling a little bit more inspired about how bringing more intention to your dating journey, to your love journey, to your life journey. I mean, my theme for 2023 is intention. So I am all in on intention. I've been leaning into it more and more in my life, and really incredible things have been manifesting in my life as a result of that. So I want to share that with you, and I would love to hear from you how it's going. So please do let me know. And I want to shout out and thank everyone who has taken the time to rate the podcast 5 stars, to review the podcast, to follow the podcast, to subscribe to the podcast. And if you haven't done any of those things, please, if you're enjoying this episode, I would really appreciate it if you did. You can just tap 5 stars and be done with it. Or you can leave a review, or you can share this episode with someone who you think would benefit from it. That would mean the world to me. You mean the world to me. Thank you so much for listening. Wherever you are in the world, have a beautiful day or night. Stay safe. I love you. You are loved. You are love. And go out there and experience love, spread it, receive it, because that is what you deserve. Okay. Till next time.